Have you noticed that your environment affects your productivity? Hey y'all, and welcome to this video on keeping your office organized. If you're like me as a child-free creative, you're always juggling multiple projects and tasks. That can lead to clutter and disorganization in your workspace, which can negatively impact your productivity and increase your stress levels, and we don't want that. When I've got a stack of papers, sticky notes all over my monitor, cups all over my desk, and other random shit that just don't even belong on my desk or in my office, I get so distracted more easily. And of course, it's so much harder to focus because all I can see is all the crap everywhere. It also makes me feel anxious because it's messy. And I have this back and forth in my brain about I need to clean that. Where is that thing I need for my project? I should probably put that back in the kitchen. And then it throws me off and makes me procrastinate. So I don't want to do anything. Then begin the social media scroll. Then the next thing I know, it's dinner time and I've wasted the whole day. If that sounds like you, keep watching. In this video, I'm going to share 5 practical tips on how to get organized and develop habits to maintain an organized office. First things first, let's assess your current workspace or home office setup. I know this is going to be kind of hard at first, but go ahead, take a look around and identify the areas that need improvement. Are there piles of paper, tangled cords, cluttered shelves? Make a list of all the problem areas and we'll tackle them one at a time because decluttering is in stages and it's definitely going to be overwhelming if you try to do it all at once. So when you assess your workspace, take a step back and analyze the office layout, including your desk, shelves, and storage areas. This will help you identify areas that tend to get cluttered and disorganized more easily. And sometimes just rearranging your decor and your furniture can make a huge difference too. Next, determine what actually needs to be organized. This involves taking inventory of the items in your space and categorize them by type. For instance, you may have a pile of papers that need to be sorted, office supplies that need to be organized, or electronics that need to be decluttered. Once you have a clear idea of what actually needs to get organized, you can move on to the actual decluttering. Start by sorting through these items and decide what to keep, toss, donate, and trash. Remember, less is more when it comes to a clean and organized space, so you have a lot less to worry about and clean and organize later. Decluttering also involves identifying items that you no longer need and getting rid of them. This can mean duplicate items, outdated materials, broken items that can't even work. For example, you may have old electronics that you no longer use or books that you've already read and don't plan to read again. Instead of letting those items take up your valuable space, donate them to a charity or recycle them. And then next, categorize your items. Grouping similar items together makes it so much easier to find what you need and when you need it. For example, you may want to group like all your office supplies together in a designated drawer or a specific shelf or container while keeping your electronics and papers in separate areas. Creating a system and a layout for categorizing items can be as simple as just using labels and color coding. I like using both. All right, next I want to talk about organizational tools because who doesn't love to buy cool or cute items that make you happy to look at in your office? But first, I've got a disclaimer. Do not, do not buy any organizing bins, baskets, anything like that until everything is decluttered first, so you know what actually needs a home, what actually needs to be organized. And that way your new containers don't create clutter themselves. So we want to avoid that. We only need to buy what you need when you need it. All right, now that that's out of the way, cable management. Tangled cords can be not just an eyesore and make your workspace look really messy, but using cable organizers, zip ties, or DIY things like paper towel rolls to keep your cords all neat and tidy can really help a lot. So managing your cables is often a lot safer so you don't trip, and it helps avoid fire hazards too. File folders. These can be used to keep papers organized, while storage containers can be used to store office supplies or other items. Then use the tabs on the folders to label everything and easily find it later. I also like to use colorful 3-ring binders for each separate category of papers, depending on the project or what's going on. And as you can see, there's a theme: labels, color code, labels, color code. That's what I tend to do a lot. And then desk organizers. These can help keep your desk nice and tidy and clutter-free, and actually give you some extra space depending on the type of organizers you have. Like, the razor with the drawer underneath to raise your monitor or your laptop up further, so it gives you a little bit more space to work on. And then labels, of course, to help you quickly identify items in their designated spaces. For example, you might want to invest in a paper tray or a file organizer to keep your papers in order, or a desk caddy to keep your office supplies within reach. Then, of course, personalize your space. Once you've got your home office organized, it's time to personalize it. Add some plants, some artwork, or motivational quotes. Be minimal in what you use. Like, as much as I love this shelf, I still feel like I need to declutter it. Let me know in the comments if this shelf feels just the right amount of items. Well, from here up anyway. I'm going to eventually work on this for sure. But here up, let me know if that is just the right amount of items or if that feels cluttered. But personalize your space. It needs to feel inviting and inspiring. You want to be excited to go into it and get to work. Like, when my desk and my office are organized and nice and clean, it's so easy to find what I need and when I need it. And I feel lighter, and it's so much easier to focus on what's in front of me. And having an organized physical space gives me more mental space, which means more creativity, more ideas, more focus, getting more shit done. And that extra mental space helps me, I'm calmer because I'm not thinking about all the other things I have to do by looking at all this shit laying around in my office. And I feel so much more of a professional and a lot more confident, because this is a space, even though I don't have clients come into my office, I would be happy and okay with coming in and seeing my space. It needs to be somewhere you are proud of and proud of showing off. Not necessarily Pinterest ready or anything, but just cozy and comfortable. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right. So now that you've got your workspace organized, it's time to develop some habits to maintain all that hard work you just did. And in order to do that, it really helps to create daily habits, and here are 5 that can help. Regularly reviewing and updating your space is crucial for staying organized and focused when you're working. This means taking the time to regularly assess your space, declutter on a regular basis, and reorganize as needed. Because how you work now, maybe it changes a little bit, and it's okay to move stuff around and change it just to make it feel fresh and renewed again. By doing this regularly, you can avoid having to do another big declutter, so it won't take near as long, or you can avoid it altogether. And it keeps yourself focused on what's most important, and you have all that extra time to do what you want. It also helps to implement a 5-minute tidy. At the end of each day, you can also help you maintain your organized space. So schedule a few minutes at the end of your work hours to tidy up your desk, put away items that are out of place, and make sure everything is in its place and in its designated spot. And by doing this regularly, you're going to reduce your stress, you're going to know where everything is, and improve your productivity by starting each day with a clean slate that's clutter-free and you're excited to be in. So staying on top of it is very important. Establishing a filing system. This is essential for keeping important documents and information organized and easily accessible. This can involve using physical file folders, digital storage systems, or a combination of both, or like I mentioned earlier, 3-ring binders. The key is to establish a consistent system that works for you, whatever that may be. And that system is based on how you think, how you search for items, and how you use the file folders or whatever you end up using. This is going to save you so much time, and it reduces the risk of losing important documents, and you're going to be able to find stuff so much quicker, especially if you've got an important meeting and you're trying to find stuff for a client or something. Yeah, you're going to want to know where that is, or to make sure your accountant's happy at tax time. Another thing you can do is put things away immediately when you get done using them. Another habit to have that's super effective is to put things immediately away after using them. This might seem like a small thing, but it can make a huge difference. By making a conscious effort to put things back where they belong, you're going to prevent clutter, and that 5-minute tidy might be even shorter. By making a conscious effort to put things back where they belong, you're going to prevent clutter from building up on your desk in the first place, and you're going to save yourself a lot of time in the long run because you're not cleaning constantly. For example, you just used a stapler or a hole puncher or something. Don't leave it laying on your desk. Just take those couple of seconds, put it back in the drawer or back on the shelf. It's really okay. If you finished working on a project, don't leave all the materials scattered around your desk. Put them away in their respective organizers too, or back on the shelf. If you don't already, keep a small trash bin nearby. That way you can toss wrappers and other trash so it's not on the floor or on your desk. Then as soon as it's full, change it out. It's kind of amazing how much space wrappers and stuff can take up, especially if you eat in your office like I do. It's also good to practice the one in, one out rule, which really helps prevent unnecessary clutter from accumulating. This means getting rid of an item whenever you bring something new in. Like if you're wanting to update your organizers or your desk decor or anything like that, if you're bringing something in, donate the old one. That way you're not adding more and more stuff. So when you do this consistently, you can avoid accumulating too many items that you don't even need or use, and you're able to keep your workspace organized and clutter-free. And who doesn't want that? So this might sound a little odd, but taking breaks throughout the day to just regroup and refocus can also help you stay organized and productive as well. Stretch and engage with other activities. Go outside, go sit on the porch, read a book. That way it'll help you recharge and refocus. And by doing this, of course, it'll help you avoid burnout and maintain your focus and productivity throughout the day. So that'll help with your mental clutter also, is by taking breaks. By incorporating these habits into your daily routine, you can maintain an organized workspace and stay productive, reducing stress and increasing your overall happiness. And you are a lot more motivated and excited to work. So don't be afraid to experiment with different habits until you find the ones that work best for you. Remember, staying organized is an ongoing process, but by consistently practicing these good habits, you can make it a part of your daily life. So you don't even have to think about it. You get used once it turns into a habit. You just simply do it instead. Your brain's on automation at that point. All right. So if you want more videos about getting organized in Workspace, let me know in the comments below and what they should be about. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching, and I hope these tips help you on your organizational journey, and I'll see you in the next video.